Hello and welcome to Dinar Master Hub channel. Today's update is one you won't want to miss. The statements coming from trusted sources are radiating more confidence than ever. And the financial maneuvers inside Iraq are not the kind you make just to maintain the status quo. Let's break down what was shared on October 10th, 2025, because it gives us a clear signal that something significant is building just below the surface. A well-known guru from the Middle East came out with a powerful statement saying, "It's going to happen." He emphasized that Iraq is not undertaking all this monumental work, monetary reforms, banking reforms, and attracting massive investments just to stay at the 1310 program rate. That declaration alone marks a major shift in tone. For months, we've seen Iraq methodically roll out reforms without much fanfare. But when a source like this makes such a bold proclamation, it usually aligns with tangible actions in the banking sector. And that's precisely what we're seeing. Another key piece of intel comes from a report highlighting a statement from the Central Bank of Iraq's governor. He revealed that they've received a staggering 80 applications to establish digital banks in the country. However, only 2 to 4 of these are expected to be licensed, which aligns with global standards for new financial rollouts. This is incredibly significant. Iraq isn't just throwing open the doors to digital banking. They're strategically selecting a small number of elite institutions to form the backbone of the country's new financial architecture. When a central bank moves to license digital banks, it's not just a gimmick to look modern. Digital banking is critical for a country transitioning to a more controlled, transparent, and internationally compatible financial system. We've watched Iraq work tirelessly to integrate with global payment systems, tighten its anti-money laundering laws, and build its technological infrastructure. The fact that 80 entities are vying for a spot shows just how attractive the Iraqi market has become. By narrowing that list down to a select few, they ensure that only the strongest and most compliant institutions are part of this new framework. Now, let's connect this directly to the revaluation picture. Iraq's currency reform has never been about sudden random decisions. It's been a systematic, step-by-step process. They have rebuilt their banking framework, implemented international standards, stabilized their reserves, and expanded digital payment systems. They've been aligning with the World Trade Organization, improving relations with foreign investors, and pushing domestic reforms like electronic salary payments and tax collection. None of these moves make logical sense if the ultimate goal is to remain at 1310 indefinitely. Think about it logically. If Iraq planned to keep its currency at the current program rate, why go through the immense effort of reviewing 80 digital bank applications, building a modern settlement system, and completely restructuring the economy to meet international compliance? These are not the actions of a country content with a weak currency. These are the moves of a nation positioning itself for a much stronger one. The decision to license only a handful of digital banks also points towards centralization and control. By selecting a small number of institutions, the central bank can tightly manage the flow of funds, monitor transactions in real time, and ensure a clean, stable environment when they finally transition to a new exchange regime. This is exactly the kind of robust structure you would build right before a major currency event because it minimizes risk and builds confidence with international partners. The blunt statement from our guru reflects a sentiment shared by many insiders. The groundwork is done. Infrastructure is in place, the reforms are operational, and monetary policies are tightening. This isn't the language of a country just tweaking its rates. This is the language of a nation preparing to step onto the global financial stage with a revalued dinar. Let's also consider the timing. While Iraq hasn't rushed this process, they are certainly not dragging their feet anymore. The rapid push to license digital banks, the acceleration of monetary reforms, and the visible coordination between the central bank and the government all suggest we are entering the final stages of preparation. When you hear about 80 applications for digital banks, that's a massive signal of interest from both domestic and international players. Digital banks don't flock to stagnant markets. They go where they see explosive potential for growth, transactions, and integration. This wave of applications is a powerful vote of confidence in Iraq's economic future. So, what does this all mean for us? It tells us that Iraq is building a modern, digitized, and controlled banking structure designed to support whatever new rate is coming. This system is being engineered to handle high volume, strict compliance, and seamless global connectivity. To put it simply, These are not the moves of a country satisfied with a low-value currency. These are the actions of a nation aligning itself for a major economic shift. Whether that change happens overnight or through a carefully staged process, the direction is unmistakable. The guru's statement wasn't just speculation. It was a reflection of the concrete developments unfolding before our eyes. The banking intel confirms the practical steps that are backing up this confidence. Iraq is not preparing for the status quo. They are preparing for a fundamental change. Stay tuned, because every banking development, every licensing announcement, and every monetary policy adjustment is a piece of this much larger puzzle. If Iraq follows through with licensing 2 to 4 premier digital banks, we will likely see an even faster acceleration of their integration into the global financial system. This is the kind of groundwork that is typically laid right before a currency emerges onto the world stage with a brand new value. Thank you for joining us for this crucial update. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next report. We'll see you in the next one.